Here we have some data for the income distribution for some different countries. So we have Brazil and South Africa, which are very similar, the United States and Finland and Sweden. So if we look just at the table, we're seeing that in Brazil and South Africa, the lowest quintile, the lowest 20% of households only get 2% of all the income earned. The highest gets 65%. So 20% of all households get 65% of all the income earned. Now, in the United States, the lowest quintile gets about 5% of all the income earned. So the lowest 20% of households get 5%. The top quintile gets 44%. So if you look at just compare those two countries, we can see that the income inequality is stronger or worse in Brazil and South Africa than in the United States. But if you compare it to Finland and Sweden, the lowest 20% there get 8%, which is 3% more than what the United States' 20% lowest quintile gets. And their top quintile only gets 35%, where we get 44%. So the income distribution is much more unequal in the United States than in Finland and Sweden, and even worse in Brazil and South Africa. So if we want to look at that on a graph, here we would have that line of equality. The line of equality is if everybody had the same exact income. That's what the Lorenz curve would look like. Now, if we put on there Brazil and South Africa, that's what their Lorenz curve would look like. Here would be Finland and Sweden, and then somewhere in the middle is the United States. So the closer the Lorenz curve is to the line of equality, the more equal is the distribution. The closer to the line of equality, the more equal. The further the Lorenz curve is from the line of equality, the more unequal is the distribution of income. So we can take this to the next step and say, now what would happen if we had distributed income differently? What if we have in the United States, say, a progressive tax? So a progressive tax says we're going to take more income from more tax from the higher income people than the lower income. So what that does is it takes money from the richer, gives some of it to the poor. It makes that Lorenz curve move a little bit closer to the line of equality. Now, a regressive tax, like the Social Security tax is regressive because it only taxes labor income and it only taxes up to a certain maximum, which changes every year. So that regressive tax means lower income people are paying a higher percentage of their income than the upper income people. So what that will do is make the Lorenz curve move away from the line of equality.